He is a recording artist from the Caribbean Island of Haiti, on a mission to use music as a vessel to create positive social change for people in all walks of life. Fans called him Watson Tunez. Tunes with Z. Many of his songs have catchy tunes that they can easily relate to.
My name is Watson George, but a lot of people just know me as Watson Tunez.
Born on December 20th, 1993.
So I grew up in the Caribbean island of Haiti, and the town specifically where I was born is called Montrouis, and it's just about 2 hours north of Port-au-Prince.
At an early age, his mother passed away, and he became an abandoned orphan, almost dying from malnourishment.
I have several brothers and sisters. In Haiti, basically life was overall very difficult. When my mom died, my dad wasn't really there in the picture, and my oldest sisters couldn't really take care of us. We were kind of abandoned in a way and just kind of went off to the streets to kind of fend for ourselves, that type of thing. One day, a missionary came. She rescued me. I was lying on the dirt floor of our home and had probably less than a month to live.
At 6 years old, he was adopted by an American family and grew up in Washington State.
It was very difficult for me to be able to adjust to American culture. So my parents took me to youth group and to sports activities, got involved with basketball, baseball, any form of sport, you name it.
Watson learned English by memorizing lyrics of his favorite rap songs.
Some of my favorite artists were, at that time, Toby Mac, Lecrae and the 116 Click, Will Smith, and Flame. They did hip-hop in a way that the songs were profanity-free. They didn't degrade women. It wasn't the same old stuff that you hear.
When he was 8 years old, he discovered his passion for writing songs.
So I wrote a lot of my early songs about faith to have a creative outlet to really express it and to get it out.
He began producing his own beats and spent long hours recording lyrics.
So I was trying to create music that was always profanity-free, that didn't use so much slang that people just didn't know what I was talking about. Coming at it from a perspective of somebody that is not from the hip-hop culture, and I'm just inviting them in. I'm just meeting them where they're at. I'm having a conversation with you.
His first live performance was during a high school talent show.
I just remember being on the stage and looking absolutely awkward.
Watson chose to keep his music abilities a hobby. He thought he should focus more on sports, improving his social life, and academics.
At an early age, I knew that I wanted to use music as a vessel to make a difference, but I really didn't know how. And because I didn't know how, I put music off as a hobby. I focused more on sports. I focused on playing basketball. I focused on just growing relationally with other people, going to youth group. I was so involved with a lot of that stuff. But music was always there. I was a drummer for my youth group, and I really, really enjoyed music.
In 2010, a devastating earthquake ripped through his homeland, killing over 200,000 people and leaving 1 million homeless.
In Haiti, tragedy happens, and when it does, like an earthquake, people hear about it in the news for a little bit, maybe a week or two, and then after that, it just gets easily forgotten. People forget about it and they move on. But the people that are still suffering through that, are still going through it every single day. I had had to do something. I was a sophomore when the earthquake happened in 2010 in high school. And then, but it took me about a year and a half to finally muster the courage and the strength to be able to go out there and go, look, I can do something. I can make a difference. I have to. And so I took that opportunity to rally a group of my closest friends together, and we decided to just go out, and we were gonna just go to Haiti. We were gonna fundraise, get the funds. We all began to just work together, taking one component at a time, one step at a time.
Inspired by Watson, in March 2012, his youth group embarked on a mission trip to see his family. This paved the way for him to make an impact.
I remember seeing my sisters, my dad, and I've seen Betty Snyder, the missionary that had rescued me when I was so young and gave me an opportunity to be adopted. And I just remember how exciting and how overjoyed that I was of seeing these guys again.
Betty Snyder, the same missionary who had rescued him, partnered with him to start a school in his community.
I noticed some of the kids, and they were walking, I would say they were walking up to like 3 miles to the next town over to go to school. Now imagine that, us in America, had to get up each day and walk 3 miles to school. Most of us wouldn't go to school. But the people of my community are hungry, and they want to learn, they want to grow, and they want to develop, because they know that the only way to get out of poverty, to get out of this extreme poverty that they're in, where they're making less than $1 a day, is to have education, is to develop something, and to have something more than just trying to survive and roaming the streets and going through garbage and trying to find a way to survive. The only way to get out of there was through education. Betty handled all the groundwork, meaning that she was basically in the grounds of Haiti all the time and making sure that the kids had uniforms, make sure that the kids had whatever they needed. And me on the state side was using music, was using social media, rallying people together through this music that God had put in my heart to be able to raise awareness and funds. To get the school going, we needed about between $300 to $400 every month. And that sponsored over, close to, I would say about 40, 50 students at that time. All of them could go to school.
He established relationships with donors and found businesses to sponsor the school.
Well, I went from business to business, and I remember just gathering and building relationships, going from event to event, talking with people and rallying people together behind the school.
Watson's community has a local church where all the kids attend school during the weekdays. His school is still thriving today, with over 60 students. At Anderson University, he shared his story and connected with many talented artists.
Being at Anderson University, our campus theme that year was called Beyond Me. And I was like, man, I love that concept of like living beyond me. I had this big high experience of going to Haiti and being able to see my family and being able to start a school, sponsorship programs, all of that. I was like, man, I'm embodying this idea that we can live beyond ourselves. We can be part of something that is much bigger than us. Because I was able to embody that, I really embraced that and started this whole campus club at first called Beyond Me. I mean, I would go on campus and I would print out flyers. I would tell my story. I would go everywhere I could to tell people about Beyond Me and my experience in Haiti and how we all are called to live beyond ourselves. And so I tried that first year of college to really embody what it meant to live beyond myself.
It wasn't long before he formed Beyond Me Music Group, a name inspired by the college's campus theme that year.
I really wanted to rap, in the music group. I really wanted to be somebody, to be out there on the stage and rap and write songs. I wanted to be in the studio. I wanted to do everything that I could to be an artist. But I realized we just needed somebody to manage us. I put my dreams of really producing music and doing, being an artist, I put it in the back burner. We unofficially released our EP, and it was called Beyond Me Haiti, and it was a beneficial EP. The whole goal behind it was to raise funds and awareness for the people of Haiti. And we were doing really well. We would put on lots and lots of different events. I wanted to create a unique approach of using music and fans and people that love social causes, bringing them together, having a platform for them. So as they support me in this music, they're not just supporting me, they're supporting the whole village and the whole community of people in Haiti, so that I'm representing, and they get to be part of the journey. All the music and everything that I did during the time I was in Anderson University was all to raise awareness and support, to go towards letting people know about this mission of Haiti. I just remember that when the earthquake was going, it took many, many years for things to start happening. And I just wanted to remember and let people know that, hey, we're still hurting out here and we still need to reach out to the people of Haiti. They're hurting. We started making t-shirts. We would have booths for people to come and buy t-shirts, and all of it would go into help support our Haiti initiative. We reached a point where people that I started off with, they were leaving me from left to right. And I just remember feeling so discouraged. Feeling like, man, I'm not a good leader, because I can't keep all these volunteers. I can't keep people wanting to be part of this.
Although Watson felt discouraged at times, he kept going.
Through that whole process of discouragement, I really learned that Beyond Me was my initiative. This was something that God had put in my heart to do, and it was me. I had to steward this thing. I had to own it. Nobody else cared so much about Beyond Me as much as I cared about it, and because of that, I had felt this sense of responsibility to keep things going.
In 2014, Beyond Me partnered with the Drew Brees Foundation and raised over $25,000 for ongoing earthquake relief efforts.
It's important for me to reach out and to be a positive role model for these youth, for the people in my community. They need to see somebody that cares. Everything that I do for myself will die with me, but everything that I do for others will stay.
Thirsting to do more, Watson formed his own nonprofit organization. Beyond Me Initiative in 2015. Beyond Me Initiative gives grants to established organizations working in Haiti. From supporting dozens of self-sustaining initiatives, like building wells, orphanages, launching schools, and starting ESL programs, the nonprofit has made an impact.
Really, the whole goal of it was to be able to have an avenue of raising funds and then being able to give those funds as grants to established nonprofit organizations. A lot of the times as nonprofits, especially working in Haiti, we don't have extra funds. And so I realized one of the needs was that, man, there's some great nonprofit organizations in Haiti doing some amazing things. But had they have like the funds, a little bit of extra funds, they could do some really cool projects. We give grants up to $5,000 for self-sustaining projects that nonprofit organizations would love to be able to take on, but they just don't have that in their budget. And so Beyond Me Initiative is able to come in, just giving them a little bit more fuel to be able to do some really cool projects. It's just been amazing to see it all come together. And what happens is that we go down to Haiti and we travel to all these different places where we've given grants and all these different nonprofit organizations. And we filmed many documentaries of them, and they share their stories. They tell us their mission and everything that they do. And alongside of that, we've been able to build a podcast where those organizations can share their stories. We try to support other nonprofit organizations because we see the work that they do. And number one, Haiti has so many nonprofit organizations. It's overwhelming. And so we didn't want to be just another nonprofit trying to reinvent the wheel. The Beyond Me Initiative began by actually seeking out nonprofit organizations that were doing a great work and just supporting their efforts. They already have the channels, they have the people there, they already have relationships with the local people in the community. We don't need to go in and try to reinvent the wheel. So Beyond Me Initiative was just saying, hey, what is an initiative that you wanted to do, and how can we just take it to the next level? And so we're just trying to take organizations beyond, what their current capacity and what they're able to do, and bless them with some funds to be able to do a project that normally they wouldn't be able to do. So from 2016 to, I would say, 2021, I really took some time to just grow personally. And one way I did that is I graduated from college. I was involved with so much, social activities and serving Haiti and Beyond Me that it was difficult for me to always focus in school and make that be a top priority. And upon graduating, I began teaching and working with youth a lot more. I was able to marry my wife, Madison, and we have a daughter, Jemiah, who was born in 2018.
When Beyond Me Music Group amicably disbanded in 2014, Watson started connecting and collaborating with producers and singers from around the globe. He wrote over 100 songs and began working independently. He performed at various shows for youth programs and community events.
And music-wise, I moved from a physical realm of doing music to more of a digital space. And what I mean by that is I began collaborating with artists from all walks of life, from Germany to Australia to all different places in the US, to places like Russia, you name it. And I was able to collaborate with them, and we began to just write songs together. And that was the new form of the Beyond Me Music Group.
Common themes in his songs include faith, intimate love, living abundantly, philanthropy, and dealing with trauma.
I began to kind of hone in on my own way of doing hip-hop music.
He developed his sound, blending pop music with progressive rap. He added more melody components to his songs.
I would write all my songs and then I would collaborate with artists to sing certain parts for me. I began to work on my voice. I began to work on my online presence. I began to work on my stage presence. I went to detention facilities. I went to church functions, anywhere I could, where I could perform my songs and share with people the Beyond Me story.
In 2020, he developed his own digital record label, Beyond Me Entertainment, with a mission to use music and media to empower humanity.
COVID-19 brought a whole nother side of the United States and just the world in general that I'd never seen. There was so much fear, there was so much rioting, there was so much chaos happening everywhere. And in the midst of that, I really felt like music could play a very important role in just giving people an empowering mindset and helping them overcome some of that fear and that worry that they already were experiencing. So I formed Beyond Me Entertainment, which is the music part of the whole thing. So you have the nonprofit side, Beyond Me Initiative, and then we have the Beyond Me Entertainment now. The whole focus is to create music that empowers humanity and helps us move forward. Because I just saw how much people were hurting, and every time that I see hurt, I want to create music that help people cope through it and help them see that there's hope. You know, in a lot of my songs, it's life, and there's not always a happy ending. And I'm not trying to, say everything's positive, everything's going to work out. It's not. But at the same time, we can't drown in our sorrow. We can't sit here and not do anything about it. Music, to me, is a way to bring healing and restoration in people's lives. And so as long as God has given me this talent of music, as long as I am able to write songs, I will continue to make music that leads people in the right direction. I want my tunes to go beyond just being catchy, beyond just being something that you just listen to. I really want you to see that it is possible for you to be part of something that's bigger than yourself. My heart behind it is that people would see a young man that loves God and loves others and loves humanity and sees that humanity is essentially good and that we can do so much more when we love and we care for each other.
As an up-and-coming artist, Watson Tunez aspires to share important life lessons through his music.
Never stop dreaming. Never stop believing in yourself. Always believe that you can make a difference.
The heartbeat behind his music is to help people learn to live beyond themselves, to get past their hurt and pain, so they can use their gifts and creative capacities for a greater good.
And I just hope that the music inspires you, it touches your life. I hope that you will join me in this journey as we walk together to find the road that brings healing and restoration.
If you've experienced some hurt, pain, trauma, or even suffering, come on a journey to find the road that leads to healing and restoration. Tune up your healing power with Watson Tunez.